Hello everybody, welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and last week we had some really incredible news with regards to inflation, exceeding expectations. We're going to talk more about that today because, yes, I know, I have one more announcement with regards to inflation, which we'll get to at the end of this Monday Morning Must Knows, but let's kick things off with the earnings announcements. Yes, I know it's the tail end of earnings season, but there are some fairly decent names in here that you may want to pay attention to or trade or maybe even put some protection on because they may be in your portfolio. We'll start things off on Monday with one big one. This is kind of the newest addition to the Larry Jacobson portfolio, Copart. And again, there's 890 companies reporting. Just want you to know I am cherry picking the biggest market cap or the bigger names out there. Tuesday, we have Walmart, Home Depot, Chesapeake Energy, Palo Alto Networks, Medtronic, and Diamondback Energy. On Wednesday, Nvidia, Etsy, Network Appliances, Baidu, TJ Maxx, eBay, and Mosaic. Thursday brings you Alibaba, Block, PG&E, VMware, and American Tower. And on Friday, drumroll please, the granddaddy of them all, Berkshire Hathaway. Let's see how Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger fared in this latest quarter's earnings. Now, I normally don't talk too much about digital assets and cryptocurrencies in this session. Now, of course, we do have a program at Online Trading Academy called the CIL and Digital Assets Program, which focuses on cryptocurrencies and digital assets. However, over the last 2 weeks, there has been a tremendous amount of activity from regulators, not just on Capitol Hill, but also the SEC, the CFTC, going after digital asset and cryptocurrency projects. Now, this has created a significant amount of volatility. And to my dismay, and I will say to my dismay, I was anticipating this having a very negative effect on those cryptocurrency and digital asset markets. However, when we look at the price of Bitcoin, here is a chart going back into 2021. You can see that it peaked in 2021 around November and has been selling off ever since. But on the hard right edge, you notice that over the past couple of months, it's actually been a fairly bullish market for Bitcoin. And of course, as Bitcoin goes up, so do the rest of the cryptocurrencies and digital asset projects. Now, the big wild card here is this man. That's right, Gary Gensler. I put a nice evil picture here of Gary Gensler because he's really been going after cryptocurrency and digital asset products. He went after Kraken, basically saying that staking is a security. Kraken settled and paid $30 million fine. Now he's going after Paxos, saying, hey, this stablecoin is an issue. We're coming after you with more fines. So they're really going after the cryptocurrency space, which could create a lot of volatility. Now, we've been saying in our cryptocurrency program at Online Trading Academy that 2023 will be the year for regulatory actions and really setting the guardrails for what crypto can do. The challenge and the problem that we're waiting to see what's solved here is how far does that pendulum swing? Does it go to absolute control and ban crypto in the United States like China did? Stupid move, because that pushed everybody out of China into other countries and we earned their business. Or do we go the complete opposite side, which is, hey, let them do whatever they want? Now, clearly that wouldn't be the right choice. We can't just let them go out there. There's way too many scams in play. But we need to find some happy medium here. And hopefully, over the next coming weeks, we will see what the SEC is going to do to help establish guardrails to protect you and me from fraudsters, but also give us the choice as consumers to participate in this brand new asset class, which has tremendous potential for our economy and our markets going forward. Now let's move to our final piece. I know, inflation has been something that's just, you're probably just going, oh God, I'm tired of the inflation talk. Well, last week we had CPI numbers come out on Tuesday, much higher than expected. You had on Thursday PPI numbers come out, which were even higher than expectations. Then CPI was like, a lot of people freaking out a little bit. Now remember, we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were fairly bullish days. And then after that PPI number on Thursday, markets tanked and ending pretty much negative for the week for most major market indexes on Friday. Now that was an ugly 2-day turn. And I think a lot of it has to do with the inflation numbers and expectations. But are we out of the woods yet? I don't think so. If we look at the data presented to us, you'll see here that Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the core PCE price index numbers coming out. And that was what the Fed has said is the most important piece. It's what they are looking at to determine their rate policy. Well, right now we're at 0.3%, and if history is any indication, meaning last week's PPI and CPI data, then this one will most likely come out higher than that 0.3 expectation. Now, if that does happen, you may see further pressure on the Fed to potentially raise rates. Now, last week, there was like a 95% chance that there was going to be a 25 basis point increase in rates at the next meeting. and like a 5%, we get 50 basis points. That is shifted. Now it's like 20%. We could get 50 basis points, and that's because of the inflation data. So this Friday will be a very important one, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when that announcement comes out. We don't know how bad it's going to be or how good it's going to be. Matter of fact, we just don't know. So as a trader, it's probably best to be very cautious, step out of the markets when that announcement happens, and just sit and watch and be careful because you're going to get giant whipsaws. Now, the good news is this happens 1 hour before the equity markets open. So probably already going to be priced in by the time you get in there and start trading. That said, it will be a very volatile day and give us a little better understanding as to which way these markets may be headed going forward based off of how the Fed is going to approach inflation. That, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must-Knows. We'll see you next week.